Fade to black.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me. It's Mike Lepre, King Michael. It's February 13th, 2022. That's 202132022 for you math geeks. Not a lot of fun, but it is Sunday, and it is Super Bowl Sunday. Today, we get to see the Los Angeles Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. This is the completion of our second full season of legit fantasy football. And joining me as always, Brother Ray. What's going on, Brother Ray?
This is why you lift all those weights, King Mike. This is why you do all those workouts. This is the culmination of all year.
Yep, I know. I've been doing sprints outside, just getting ready for the game tonight. I'm just outside running. My wife's like, "What are you doing sprinting?" I'm like, "I'm getting ready for the game. Got to stretch out, get myself limber." I want to when we get this thing going. I want to go over the game. I want to go over the props. Any stories you guys want to go over. I want to really kind of lean into this. So when it comes to leaning into something, you get Mastradamus, M1, Mr. Never Left, Matt. What's going on, Matt?
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing good.
Very good. I heard King say this is the second season coming to a conclusion, and if we can remember how the first one concluded, I was perfect in last year's Super Bowl. Double result, predicted pretty much it all correct. I plan on doing it again today, gentlemen.
I think you get a +5 though whenever Brady's in a Super Bowl. You know what I mean, when it comes to your wager,
I get more than a +5.
I go. Let's put it this way: our mom, who's no longer with us, used to say stuff like, "I hate Tom Brady." I just hope they heard him. But I'm not even kidding. Our sweet mom, who's now in heaven, would say, "I hate Tom." She hated Tom Brady. She saw through Tom Brady. That's what my mom did. I'm telling you, you watch. She saw the person. She didn't like Tom Brady, the person.
Mom's a smart woman, King, because I went to the card vault. You guys know I've been dealing a lot of cards lately. I'm selling all my Brady cards. I used to look up to him, and I loved him. I looked at him as like the second coming of Jesus. I thought he was a superhero. I used to say, he follows him. He handles himself like how any father would want their son to approach themselves, speak. That's all changed and went out the window. And it's nothing about being a tainted sports fan, because I'm glad that he went to Tampa Bay and won a championship. What I'm mad about is kind of how, when you have a new friend or a new girlfriend, you take on their persona, you take on a lot of their traits. When he met Giselle, he became something different than the Tom Brady that was kind of grateful, knowing his role, and doing what he's doing. I kind of like the sinister new evil Tom Brady, but at the same time, it's a different Tom Brady. It makes me think which one of you is real. Where was this when it was? But it's the more rings he gets, it's the more power that he gets. It's the same thing that when Belichick didn't have rings, he didn't talk to the media like this. So I don't think he's retired. I called his retirement. I think he's actually going to come back. I think we're going to see him in a different, don a new uniform, and we'll be talking about it. But I've been pretty much right with predicting Tom Brady, but it's been fun watching him, but I don't think the ride is over.
I don't think it is either. And Ray, that was lobbing you a softball right there.
Let me say, guys, I'm going to break it to you right now. My insiders are telling me that he's very close to finalizing a deal to purchase a stake in the Miami Dolphins. This is going to happen. He is going to buy an ownership stake in the Miami Dolphins. And let's be honest, they talked about Stephen Ross meeting with a certain quarterback on his yacht a couple of years ago before he went to Tampa. We all know that was Tom Brady. Tom Brady wanted to go to Miami. He's building a brand new house in Miami as we speak. He's also got a house in the Bahamas. Folks, he is going to buy a stake in the Miami Dolphins, and do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if he does come back. It's going to be for Miami.
That would be cool.
That sounds absolutely awful to me.
I don't think it is, but
King, you got to know, when a player leaves, they stay in the division. They want to torment the teams. He probably, listen, he probably wanted this sooner rather than later. And teams were like, no, let him go to the NFC. Let him go to the NFC. Nobody wanted him in the. If he could come back and torment Bill, he would. That's why he did what he did in the retirement speech. He wants to keep turning that knife. This is not the same Tom Brady we grew up watching.
All right. I disagree. I think it's the same Tom Brady that we've had the whole time, that just Patriot fans may have been blinded by the beauty and glow of the Super Bowl rings.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. You know what I mean? I've had to listen to the guy before. I've seen him in things and interviews. He never comes off. That kiss with his kid a couple years back, you guys know, is still throwing me for a loop. I've never been able to get over it. It's actually one of the most scarring videos I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
King,
So,
this new man in my life.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Jackpot
You know
Joey.
what's funny? You know what's funny is Matt, is that yesterday I did take out all the Joe Burrow cards that I have, just because I knew that you were gonna have Joe Burrow cards. So at some point later, I want to send you what I have for Joe Burrow cards. But all right, guys, we got to the end of the season. We're at the Super Bowl. It is the day of the Super Bowl. Now, granted, around here it's hilarious because there's so many New England people that are like, wait a minute, the Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl, and then wait a minute, Tom Brady's not even there with the Buccaneers. What do we do today? What are we supposed to do? And it's like, well, they just throw a Super Bowl party. But whose name are we gonna put in like ice on the back wall? We're gonna have cakes made in their colors. Who are we gonna do that for? Like they are so, oh my God, Patriot fans, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, Ray. They're so like, they think they should just be in one every year, and they can't believe they're not.
It's called entitlement. Entitlement.
Yep.
You know what? It's absolutely the Twilight Zone. I've been, you know me, I live, die, breathe, eat shit, football. I try to get my son to be, I play him videos of when I played and watching me. I'm like, watch me. I'm knocking this pile down. I'm just trying to get him to see if there's, anything for football. And finally today, he's like, I want to watch Super Bowl today with you, Dad. I'm like, what about the last 20 years? But hey, it's, it is what it is.
Would nothing be worse than having a dad who is a Pats fan and get to go through all the rings, and then you're a kid, and it's like, now he's like, what? Say now he's 30 years old, and they still haven't won since. He would hate you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you rooted for a team that had 6 championships. He's still rooting for that team. They haven't won one since. It's kind of like Brother Ray with his son. He said, yeah, come on, be a Dolphins fan. We're relevant. Whew.
Yeah,
right,
punishment.
Right. So, all right. So let me go over this. Overall, throughout the season, what did you come away with? Oh, Ray, I just got this in. It seems that Brian Flores has added you to his lawsuit strictly because you're a Dolphins fan. That's it. That was the news. Okay, back to the show. Sorry about that, guys. Breaking news comes in. I have to take it. Ray, who are you most shocked by this year? Not Super Bowl teams, and shocked in the way of their stock went through the roof or their stock plummeted for you?
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know how you, I know you don't want me to talk about the Bengals, but no one expected them to be there. Zach Taylor is still not getting any respect. I think the Browns completely fell off the radar. I thought they would be one of the teams there at the end. In the NFC, Dallas did what Dallas usually does. With a team like that, they choke. I don't know. I guess if I had to look at it, I would say I was surprised with the Patriots. I think Bill did a great job of rebounding this year. I think they have Mac Jones. It'll be interesting to see what they do now at offense with McDaniels going to the Raiders. But I don't know. I think the West Coast offense has finally taken the crown and put the crown on its head. Because if you look at the teams right now in the Super Bowl, West Coast roots, teams like Kansas City Chiefs, West Coast roots. And this goes all the way back to Bill Walsh. So you can track that Bill Walsh tree all the way down to Andy Reid, to Sean McVay, to Zach Taylor, who's on the Rams staff. The West Coast offense has taken over the league.
All right. So Matt, on the season, and what team went up for you or went really down for you?
Well, I mean, it's got to be the Bengals, like Brother Ray said. Like, nobody had them. The first overall pick last year, blowing his leg out, coming back in his first real season, bringing the Bengals to the Super Bowl. The Bengals. Horrible
No, I get it. I get it.
Basement. I looked at the TV and we were watching them. And I said to my son, I go, son, that's a basement dweller. I said, they've been horrible for 30 years. I said, this is, and I showed him the card. I said, this is the kid. He's cool as ice. And he's the reason they're there. Like, for them to come and do what they did. But I got the Cardinals. Like, you got, you make the trade for D-Hop, right? And then you surround them with great young talent, and they do. They got talent all over the ball, defensive side. For them not to, hold that record what they had last year, it's just a testament to who they are at the core. They had it. They were in a position. They looked like they were the best team in the NFC. Green Bay Packers, 10 points, and they'll, possibly last Aaron Rodgers start.
Let me throw. I don't want to interrupt you, but let me throw some at you, Matt and Ray, that I found myself to be ridiculous. Like the Cowboys again, 12-5, they win the division, but were they really ever a 12-5 team? Like, did you ever really feel like this was the team that was going to put their foot on the throat of everybody else? You had the Bucks drop out at 13-4, the Packers drop out at 13-4. The Saints look like they're never going to be the same team again, right? They lost their coach, they lost everything. 49ers, surprising that they fought so hard at 10-7. I'll even say the Steelers surprised me at 9-7-1 because I thought they were horrendous. Like, they kind of were, but they still came up above 500. So, like, how, and then the Browns stunk it up, nowhere near what they should have been. And I feel like the Dolphins stunk up what they could have been. Although I don't like that guy as it goes on. Flores, he seems like he's just got too much emotion. And then the Patriots, to me, was a shock. Like I remember telling Matt, I'll never forget that video footage we have of us talking you off the roof with Mac Jones, telling you that Mac Jones. I was telling you, he's going to fit this offense. This is the kind of kid you want. He's going to drop those passes.
Could be fool's gold, King. And honestly, I have a lot of really nice Mac Jones cards. I'm sending them out to PSA. I sent out some really beautiful Tom Brady rookie autos, and I sent some Mac Jones out yesterday. And as soon as I get the Mac Jones back, he's gone. I don't believe in him. I don't think that I said it to a good friend of mine this morning. I don't think that he's going to, and as a rookie, I don't think you're going to have it. But Joe Burrow.
Can't count rookie year.
Huh?
You can't count rookie year, really.
Nope. But I'm just saying, as of right now, and he doesn't have anybody to throw to anyway, but you can't count on him on putting the on his shoulders and on his back, and he's going to go and win you the game. But like, when you look at Joe Burrow today, when I first looked at him last year, the way he moves in the pocket, his feet, his footwork, and how he moves around and gains more time and extends the play. And then when he does extend the play, Mac Jones has a nice touch, but he can't zip the ball into a situation like Joe Burrow can with that arm that Joe Burrow. That's the difference between a Joe Burrow and a Mac Jones.
All right, but we said that to you. Remember, Ray? We were saying how Mac Jones looks ugly when he throws it. He doesn't look good when he moves in the pocket. It's not like he's got this incredible cannon for an arm. But Mac Jones has the one thing that Joe Burrow has that maybe, I don't know if many other quarterbacks have it, and that they think they're going to win. They have a positive hang in there until they can win. Look, Mac Jones went from Alabama one year to the Patriots one year. All this swirling around. Still got the team to a winning division the way he winning. What am I trying to say here? Standings? Record. That's what I'm trying to say. The word record. Can't figure it out. But anyways, I think for a rookie, Ray, I'd give him like a B. Like, that's, to me, he's promising, Mac Jones in the Patriots offense. Don't you think?
Yeah, he's got it between the ears. I mean, he makes quick decisions, and that's more important than any cannon arm. It's more important than, being able to run a 4.5 40. He's got it between the ears, which is perfect for what McDaniels wanted him to do in that offense, to be able to quickly assimilate the defense, make the quick decision. He was tough. He was humble. He worked hard. They rode him pretty hard. I mean, all year you saw every time he come to the sideline, McDaniel was screaming at him. So I just think, I mean, this kid has what it takes mentally, and he makes quick decisions. And that's all I need to see. That, to me, is the most important thing. He has it. He had that first year under McDaniels. They're going to keep the same offense, guys. The Pats don't change anything. They bring in offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. I mean, it's just a position. It's the same offense and the same defense they've been running for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Listen, I do agree. He's a smart kid, 41 touchdowns, 4 picks last year at Alabama. Kid knows how to succeed in the SEC. But that was also probably the best Bama team that they had in the last 20, 30 years, I'd say. And when it comes to hearing him speak, he trembles when he talks. And then I heard a player say when he drops back in the pocket, we see him shake. And ever since he said that and I heard that, that's all I could see. And whenever I hear him speak, it's not like somebody who has speaking with confidence. He is trembling in his voice. I don't think he's sure of himself. And I don't think he's on the ground.
Here's the thing. 2 words that make him make more sense, and that's Eli Manning. He's got a lot of Eli Manning in him, in the sense of he's like he's just gonna be how he's gonna be, and he's clunky, but it works. Like I'm telling you, he's a winner. Just like Joe Burrow, I kept saying to my son, that kid, he just keeps winning. He's one of those kids that if he gets confident enough, he's just a winner. And there's certain quarterbacks that are still like that in the NFL. A whole bunch that are not, but there's a couple that are. Now, Ray, before we go into the picks for the day, we'll make our picks for the game by the spread, the over-under, and then I want to go through some prop bets. There's actually a couple prop bets that I know for a fact that I would win. But let's start off with the game. Ray, since you haven't been on in a long time, as compared to me and Matt, we will let you go first. We'll say age before beauty. Who do you like in tonight's Super Bowl, Ray, where the Bengals are playing the Rams? Technically, since he's at home, the Rams are favored by -4.5. As of now, over-under is 48.5. Ray, Super Bowl Sunday. Who do you got?
I picked the Rams to be in the Super Bowl before the season started, and I keep picking against them. And I picked the Niners against them a couple of weeks ago. And I know somewhere down the line I soured on the Rams. It's crazy, but if you look at this, the way they match up, the Rams offense is a better offense, and they find easier ways to score. So they don't have to throw 80-yard bombs. They manufacture yards, and they put their quarterback in an easier position to make plays. The Bengals, on the other hand, do not have a strong offensive line. They will have to rely on some short passes and run after the catch. So they don't have the offense that the Rams have. However, what I do like about the Bengals is their secondary reminds me of the no-name defense with the Dolphins in the 70s. They probably have, the best, I think the best secondary in football. I think Jesse Bates is the best safety in the game. He's had a turnover in the last 3 games. So what do I think today? I think if you're going to give me 4.5 points, I am going to take the Bengals. You know why? Because I think they will go with the short passing game, and the Rams are awful with yards after the catch. And I think that's where the Bengals will take advantage. I think they will work on a way to shut down Cooper Kupp, because the Bengals don't blitz much. And with Hendrickson and some other pieces on that line, they're able to get pressure with 4. And very few teams are able to do that. The Rams like to blitz a lot. And yeah, they have Aaron Donald, but I like the Bengals getting 4.5. And I really like the under in this game, because these 2 coaches, they will kick field goals. They are not a team that, they're not like the Chargers where, they'll go for it 90% of the time. Both these teams will kick the field goal, and they have 2 good kickers. McPherson's been lights out. So I'm going to go with the Bengals plus 4.5. I'm going to continue to go against the Rams, and I'm going to go with the under.
All right. So before I switch to Matt, for the season, the Bengals points for. They scored 460 points. The Rams for the season points scored. Would you like to guess? Anybody?
It's probably in the same
Four-
area.
460 points. Exact. Their offenses both scored the same amount of points this year. What did they give up? The Bengals gave up 376 points. The Rams gave up 372. That's the difference between these two teams this year. It's crazy if you look at it that way, right? It really is. People are forgetting that. But all right, Matt, to you now. You're next. Second up. Bengals.
You know,
Rams.
it's crazy because they're not 4.5-point favorites. And when I get to the thick of it and I start researching, you know, you look at the difference between the divisions. Okay, you do got some good, tough teams in the NFC West, but it's not the same NFC West as it used to be. When you compare it to the AFC North, maybe slightly better, not much better. Arizona Cardinals aren't that tough. You're going to beat up on each other with the 49ers and the Rams, and Seattle wasn't themselves this year. But if you look at the rest of the schedule, the Rams really didn't beat anybody that was of significance. They're not this team that we think they are, and then they are pitting the Rams defense. That, you know, they gave up 398. We've said it on the show a million times. They give up a lot of yards on defense. You know, so I don't look at the Rams as 4.5-point favorites. I think that's completely wrong. I'm completely on the side of Brother Ray when he says the Bengals 4.5 in the under, but I think the Bengals win this game outright. But if you want to play it safe and you want to do a nice parlay, go with the Bengals 4.5 in the under. I think that's clearly safe. But I like the Bengals on the money line. I think they win this game. I think they win this game 30-17 or 27-17. I think that this game's going to be in control throughout, maybe 20-17 late, and then since he gets a late touchdown and sprinkles on another score. But I don't look at like what Brother Ray was saying. The key to this game most likely is how are you going to cover Cooper Kupp, and they actually have that guy to do it, and they believe that they're going to have to go to Odell Beckham. I could see Odell Beckham having a decent game, Cooper Kupp still having a decent game, and them losing this. But it's going to be an under because I do think the 48.5 is definitely a suspicious number. And you would think that with like what we talked about with the defenses kind of both being what they are, that it would be a obvious over. I think that's a trap. And I think you got the first quarter, second quarter jitters. I think it's a low first half score. And then you see them loosen up in the second half, and then the scoring come on.
All right. So, Brother Ray, you have the Bengals and the under, right? You took that. And Matt, you're with the Bengals and the under, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here's my issue. So then here's where I come up as the issue that I have. I think the Bengals win the game outright. I think that, quite honestly, when it comes down to quarterbacks and who can handle the pressure more, I would take a young Joe Burrow over Matt Stafford any day of the week and 3 times on Sunday. So yep. I don't trust the Rams side of it. I do, however, see the score coming out to 27-23. That's the score I've had in my head the whole time about this. The Bengals winning the game. And if that does happen, that is over 48.5. That's why I'm going with the over. I think that this is going to be one of those 1 or 2 point overs. Like, I think Vegas has got this so screwed in. Like, they kind of have such a great idea of where the points are going to end up. They're probably going to have around 50 to 51 points, 52 points total, just around there, just above 48. So I'm agreeing with you guys on the Bengals. I'm going to go with the over, though, however. So that's where I'm going to go with that. All right. I want to go through a couple of – go ahead. But someone got some? I want to hit some props. All right. So the silly props, let's get them out of the way. I guess Mickey Guyton is singing the national anthem tonight. Now, what I am upset about is they don't have her timed. You know how they usually do the timing of the national anthem? Like, is it going to be over or under X amount of minutes? Does anyone have you guys ever bet that, or is it just me?
I've seen it. Yeah,
I've been right every year because I just go back and watch how someone sings, right? Then I justify, do they sing R&B? Because if they do, they're going to add a lot of whoa, 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 for no reasons in the middle of nowhere. That's my second thing. And thirdly, are they going to be excited to be there? Because there's two things that can happen when you're excited. It was one, you can go really loud, or two, too freaking fast. If it's not somebody that's comfortable with being in front of a large crowd, that anthem might be going like this. But I think we had Gladys Knight like 1 or 2 years ago, and I was like, she's going over so easy. Gladys is going to be so comfortable, and she's going to hang notes like no, and she was like 30 seconds over. All right, but here's what they do have. Will Mickey Guyton show cleavage during the anthem? I'm going to say, not you guys know who this is, but of course she is. Why not? Why would you not?
That's a prop? That's a legitimate prop?
I can wait. Let me hold on. Let me do this for you. The second one is, will she forget a word or omit a word in the national anthem? And I'm like, I don't think she would. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'll bring them up bigger. All right, so you see it?
Mm-hmm.
First one is forget or omit a word during the national anthem. Then show cleavage. It's like first to be shown during the anthem. Sean McVay or Zach Taylor. I would think it would be Sean McVay because he's got the commercial deal, right? To be shown first during national anthem. Joe Burrow's the story, isn't it? Over Matthew Stafford? Or do you think Matthew Stafford's more the story?
Oh, it's Joe Burrow.
All right, so I'll take Joe Burrow there.
And they'll alternate, King. So if they show the Rams coach, they're going to show the Bengals quarterback. If they show Zach Taylor, they may show Stafford. Yep. They'll alternate.
All right, let's do passing props real quick. How many players will attempt to pass?
I got Odell Beckham definitely throwing the ball in this game, so he's definitely
then that's
throwing
over.
the
Then
ball.
you're over. Then if you know that someone else is going to throw a trick play, then you will have your third person attempt to pass in this game. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that's what this bet's about. All it is, do you think someone else will throw a trick pass today in the Super Bowl? And Ray, I think with the cast of characters that they have, Odell might try to throw one or something like that. I would probably take the over. You guys?
Oh yeah.
All right, Ray, I'll throw this one to you.
Yeah, even Cincy.
Ray, what do you think of this? Joe Burrow's first pass, distance of his first TD pass. You think it's going to be over or under 10.5 yards?
I think it's going to be over because I think for me, the best prop I think today is T. Higgins for first touchdown scored plus 1,200. So I'm going to say if it's T. Higgins, it's going to be over 10.
All right, Matt, what about you? How about this? Joe Burrow, total of passing touchdowns in the game.
You know, it's
4 or more.
So tough. I would say, let me see. Let me see.
Well, it all comes down to this, guys. Is it going to be rushing or passing?
What is it?
Like, is the game going to be rushing the ball, or are they going to be throwing?
No, I think it's definitely going to be passing. This is the new age football, and we got 2 purebred passes, and I think that, you know, you got Jalen Ramsey coming out this week and talking, and that's big talk because I think he's going up against not just a rookie, but one of the best wideouts this game's ever seen. And I don't know if Jalen Ramsey could shut down Jamar Chase again. And there's a lot of outlets on this offense. So, you know, it is what it is. The game's gonna be decided regardless of whoever talks before. But I think that it's a big, big deal to be covering Jamar Chase, and he should just shut up.
Agreed. Great.
Do you guys remember how the Patriots beat the Rams a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl? What did they do? Yeah. They controlled the clock. They ran the ball down their throat. Sony Michel, James White. James White had a spectacular game. The Bengals do have the running back that can do that in Mixon. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run between the tackles. Their offensive line may not be the best in football, but you saw what he did in those closing moments against the Chiefs 2 weeks ago. They ran the ball better than they did in the entire game when they needed to, and they ran it right down their throat. I would not be surprised to see the Bengals at least try to take the ball out of Stafford's
Wow. Let me ask you this, Ray, because this is the one that this one is the one that gets me. How many players will attempt a rush? Over or under 7.5? Now, what you got to understand about that is if the quarterbacks run, that's 2, right? And then you got what? The Bengals have Mixon. The Bengals
Kareem, Mixon,
Kareem.
Kareem. They may run it with Chase on a
3.
reverse.
Yep, and then the Rams got Michelle, and they got
Henderson. Henderson's healthy. He's going to play. Michelle will get
Cam
the
Akers.
ball.
Cam Akers too, right?
Yeah, Cup could get a reverse. Plus the quarterbacks. You got to keep in mind the quarterbacks count too.
So you think that goes over 7.5 of people?
I think it might just be under.
So it's 7.5 people rushing the ball. But see, that my point is, so there's 2 running backs at least on both sides. That's 4. I think there's more than that. I think they go 3 running backs deep at least. So that's almost 6. Both quarterbacks make it 8. Anybody else runs the ball, that's just all money in the bank. But I think I don't know. I like over 7.5 players to run the ball. You don't?
I think, yeah. I mean, the Bengals have 2 running backs that they play, and the Rams have at least 2.
Because the Rams are over or under 4 just on their own.
I mean, Henderson and Akers, I mean, those 2 alone, they're going to share the carries. Perrine is going to spell Mixon on occasion. That's 4. The 2 quarterbacks would be 6. So now you're really looking at, are you going to get a couple of wide receiver, reverses or something like that, which you could.
Matt, let me throw this one at you. This is one that's got me kind of caught.
Hold on. Before we go on, Joe Burrow is a big-time runner. Let's not forget that. He's already going to be running. He's one of the runners.
All right, so listen. So how many runners total from both teams will attempt a rush?
No. Definitely over 7.5. Absolutely.
So how many running? Wait a minute. So you're saying Joe Burrow, Mixon, Perrine.
You got Perrine. Yeah, you got Mixon, Perrine, Burrow. That's absolutely going to happen. 3. And you got Michelle, Henderson. I would say you're definitely going to get a rush out of Stafford. Akers. Yep. So
Stafford 7.
You just need a wide receiver. You need 1 wide receiver reverse, which I think is going to happen. Like I think both West Coast teams, it's going to happen. That gets you over 7.5.
That's a tough one. I think I would go over though. I like that one. Let's see. Ray, what about total rushing yards in the game by both teams? Because they get the Rams at over under 106.5. They get the Bengals at 85.5 over under. But together they got them at 190.5. What do you think about this whole rushing situation?
We know the Bengals are going to try. The Rams like to do that when they get up big. At the end of the game, if there's a team up, like the Rams, they're going to run the ball. I don't know. I see this as a low-scoring game, so I'm probably going to say under 190.5. I'm going to say under.
So you think either team goes over 100?
I think one of the teams will. I think the Rams have a better offensive line. And if they're up, that's what they'll try and do. They'll try and keep it like a low-scoring, conservative game if they can. Well, the Bengals, I think, are going to have to really throw the ball to win.
Matt, what about you? Either team go over 100?
They will throw the ball to win, and that's what they've been doing, and I think they'll continue to do that. I don't see the Bengals going over 100 yards with the Rams. I think they could do it and still lose. I think that they've got what it takes. They've been running the ball. The Rams could definitely go over 100 yards.
All right. Here's what they call the specials. Will Michaels or Collinsworth say what the spread or total is? I don't think that they ever mentioned the spread. Do they? Right?
Yeah, I don't.
You grew up with Al Michaels. Isn't it true?
Yeah,
that never says the word?
They're not going to mention the spread. They're probably told by Vegas not to even come close to that. You don't want to be mentioning that in a game like this. You don't want to.
Especially what's going on with the admitted of losing games and being paid. I don't think
Yeah.
the spread would come up at all out of their mouths. I don't know. Matt, Super Bowl combined team record of 75 points. Will it be broken? You say no because you're the under, but if you bet it, it's plus 1,200. How about, all right,
No way.
Matt, will Joe Burrow be compared to Macaulay Culkin? That's actually a prop. Swear to God, that's a prop.
Yeah.
Oh, it's plus 700. All right. Ray, Super Bowl field goal of 54 yards, the record of 54 yards. Will it be broken? You said you like both field goal kickers. Is there a chance they break the longest field goal in the Super Bowl?
You know what? I would put money on McPherson for this. And the only reason I say that is Taylor has shown that he won't go for it on fourth down. He will let McPherson kick. Again, they're conservative when it comes to fourth down. So I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that happening with McPherson.
All right. Color of liquid poured on winning coach. See, to me, this is easy. It's always usually orange. Red, pink, none, clear, purple, blue, orange, yellow, green, lime. They want you to think it's yellow, green, lime. It's been orange for years. What?
It's gonna be purple.
Oh, all right. I go with orange. It's orange every year. That's like the go-to flavor. Super Bowl, no, I don't want to do that.
I think it depends on the team that wins. I think the Bengals will have orange, and I think the Rams will have blue.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know what though? It's never been like I see. I thought that too, but I've bet this a couple years in a row. And the NFL, like myself, we enjoy orange Gatorade. Like that's my favorite Gatorade, and there's a reason. It's a much better Gatorade. It just is. It's I don't know, and they stick with it. But all right. So what will be said first during game? Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? It's gotta be Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping you guys.
He won it last year, so they're going to show the clip from last year. They're going to show him with the MVP trophy. It's absolutely Brady. That's an easy bet.
That one, I put money on that one then. All right. Anytime first half TD scorer. Ray, you like the man that I like, T. Higgins. I think today you see T. Higgins and Odell Beckham Jr. I think you see those two the seconds of their teams erupt. Because T. Higgins, I've been saying for a long time, is a big, powerful dude. Like, remember when they drafted Chase this year, and I had to argue with you guys that no. I'm like, no, he will stay at number 2. He's that good. And you guys are telling me that other guy would take his place. And it's like, T. Higgins is too much of a beast to take his spot. Like, he really is. I think he's a monster. But, all right, so who do you like having a score in the first half, Matt?
What do I think the score will be in the first half?
Who's going to score? Which player do you know is scoring in the first half?
Well, it's crazy, right? Because I always have this like very weird thinking of like how the game starts is not how the game ends. So the team that I think is going to win isn't always necessarily going to be the team that scores first. And I always find it like where the team that you think is, the favorite, actually doesn't get the score first, but the dog scores first. And when you're gambling, throw money on the line, and you're exciting, or I think when it makes the person cling to the edge of their seat, they want that type of game. So I think the dog always scores first. So in that mind, it's going to be a Bengals score. So I think it's, I like how Brother Ray looked at it as a 1,200 odds plus 1,200. You throw $100 on T. Higgins and he's the first to score. You're loving life. You're Sunday out. You don't care who wins. You're up 1,200.
So I'm not first scoring play. I'm first. What I'm saying is just period scoring in the first half.
Uzma odds, King. What is Uzma for first touchdown score?
Sorry. So Uzma is plus 550.
See, that's to me.
Higgins is plus 400.
Higgins
and Joe Burrow is plus 900 to run it in.
Yeah, I tried Joe Burrow a few times this year. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. He doesn't really do it so much. I mean, it's nice, but
it's the Super Bowl.
It's the Super Bowl, and he could get like say pass interference on the 1 yard, QB sneaking. But you got Uzma at 5,500. I like the odds.
Yeah.
Throw $20 on that. That's probably gonna net you something stupid. You know what I mean?
Ray,
Who
what do you
cares about
think?
20
Guaranteed
Yeah.
first time half.
I think a lot of people are going after Blanton because Higbee's not playing, but I actually think Bryce Hopkins might be the guy that catches the touchdown, whereas Blanton's going to be the blocker on runs. So I think Hopkins from the Rams could be someone that'd be very sneaky. But I mean I love Higgins. I think he's the first touchdown in the game. But I think Odell might be someone too that you could safely put there as a touchdown scorer in the game. I think he'd be someone that you could get good odds, and it's probably a safe bet because they are going to try and take away Cup.
All right.
Does Odell stay a Ram at the end of this year? Does it matter if they win or lose? Does he go elsewhere?
No. He wants out. He's not staying there. He's not staying there. He won't stay there.
I think it depends. I think he wants to stay. I really think he likes where he is right now. So, but I don't think it works for the Rams financially.
Can I tell you where he wants to go? I mean, I think we all know it's obvious, but it is true. He wants to go back to New York. He's said that. He keeps saying that in interviews, like to end my career there, or like to win a bowl championship there. Or he still hasn't, forgotten New York. Which, speaking of that, you guys have like a lucky shirt that you usually wear on big days, like for sports. Do you? I got see this one I'm wearing now? So it's got JPP's number on the front. His name on the back, right?
Yep.
On the sleeves, however, what was the wide receiver from North Carolina, Ray? Played for us twice, scored the touchdowns. The one who caught the ball behind his back in college. The first coming of Odell. It was him and Cruz that we won the second championship with. He came back to us.
Hicks? No.
Yeah, Akeem Nicks.
Nicks. Yeah, Akeem Nicks.
For some reason, I got his numbers on the shoulder, so it's like a gaff jersey, and I ended up getting another one for free because they gaffed it. So this is my lucky jersey, is what I'm basically trying to say here. All right, let's go. Is this added? No. All right, is it back? Hold on. Oop, all right. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go through the last of the props. Ooh, all right. Well, hey now, okay. Ray, any props that you bet that personally that you want to go over first for a touchdown more? Like anything that stuck out to you want to go with?
There's one. I like the Rams first half lead from 1 to 6 points plus 300. I think it's a very easy bet because the Rams. If you look at what these two teams. Cincinnati starts very slow, and they usually come back in the second half. The Rams, on the other hand, they have their scripted playbook. They usually start fast, just like they against the Buccaneers. They came out smoking. I like that as a very easy bet. Rams 1 to 6, first half lead. I think that's an easy bet at plus 300. I think it's just money you can just take. A couple of the other ones I had, I do like Mixon, receiving yards over 62. I think that's a very safe bet. I do like OBJ over 62 and a half receiving yards. I think that's another easy bet. And the long shot for this game, if you can get it, I haven't found the bet yet, is pick 6. For Jesse Bates. I really could see that happening at the end of the game when Stafford gets desperate. And I could see if anyone's going to score a pick 6, it's going to be Jesse Bates.
All right, Matt. Let me just real quick. These are the ones that I can kind of somewhat. I'm feedbacking on your thing that I can guarantee. So, color of Snoop Dogg shoes at halftime. This one's freaking easy. Snoop Dogg is in what city? For the Super Bowl?
LA.
Where's Snoop from?
LA.
So if you take the blue out of the equation, that yellow, that is Laker yellow, that is Rams yellow. Snoop will have yellow sneakers on. Anybody hear that?
He has his own line. He has his own sneaker line, so you could just go to his website and see what he has. You might be able to see it right there. Like, he has his own sneaker line. I know his cleats are a pretty popular, worn by all the best recruits.
All right. They took away one of the bets that I was going to make yesterday, and that was what color would Eminem's hair be during the halftime show. I knew it was Doc Brown because all I did was just go to an interview he gave like yesterday. He's got a full black beard and black hair. Dude ain't dyeing his hair now. Takes a long time to grow that beard. But then it's like Eminem wearing on his head when first seen on TV. It's going to be a black hat. Anybody disagree with that one? Like, I think he's wearing a black hat on stage. But, Matt, what do you think? Eminem wears that black hat, right? The black beard? Matt? You've seen him, right? It shows up like that, right?
He's always wearing the hat. It's going to be weird because this is the Super Bowl. I think it's still a big moment for them. They could go in a different direction. I don't know. You got to expect big things.
What is this thing about the Bored Ape cryptocurrency that they keep making a big deal out of? Like, see how they keep showing up in the thing, like floor price of Bored Ape YCNFT at end of the game, and they got it at $285,000 or under $285,000. Like, they're slipping a cryptocurrency because it's sponsoring, I guess, the Super Bowl, and they claim it's going to go up that much because of. Is that what I'm reading? Right? Anyone?
Could be. This could be, advertising. I mean, you've seen it more and more. Everyone's promoting it now. It's, that's probably commercial in nature, I would think.
That's a little silly. All right. Mary J. Blige shows cleavage during halftime. Of course she does. How the heck? She doesn't own an outfit that would not show cleavage.
Mary J. Blige?
Yeah.
I disagree. Completely.
You don't think she's what?
Mary J. Blige?
Yes.
I don't think so.
You don't think she's gonna show cleavage during Real Love?
She's not exactly she's.
Do you want to make a side bet on this, Ray? Do we have to go side bet on this one for Mary J. Blige's cleavage? Because I'm telling you, I guarantee she shows cleavage. Look, you accentuate the positives and you throw everything you got at the Super Bowl. You try to look as good as you possibly can. She has to. Come on. I'd show cleavage if I could, which I can, unfortunately. Type of earrings she's going to wear. Hoops, chandeliers, teardrops, or studs. Matt, this one's easy to think about. What do you got?
Hoops.
There it is. Hoops. Guaranteed. Hoops. I guarantee she wears hoops. It's a dumb question. And then was all right. So here's one I don't get. What will be seen first? Hold on. The Bored Ape Yacht Club image. Tupac Shakur image. Eminem in a Lions uniform. Snoop Dogg in a Steelers uniform.
It's so funny because I keep hearing about it, and I wouldn't doubt if we had a Tupac hologram. I wouldn't doubt.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be one. It'll be there, just not first, I think.
Yep.
Right? Because that's their way of like showing, like they always have to pay homage.
Yeah.
Ray, will any headlining artist be smoking during the show? Now, I listened to Dre do an interview. He said that the Super Bowl, they made it right this time. They finally got a quality act for Super Bowl, and they plan on showing people something they've never seen before. Snoop's down with it. I keep hearing 50 Cent's going to make an appearance. Like, there's all these different people that are supposed to pop up. I don't think they show anyone smoking, Ray. I think they're so old right now, they know the difference, and they're going to try to cash in on this and up their sales. I don't think you see even Snoop smoke. What are your thoughts?
No smoking. No, they're not going to do it. They're not. Why would they do that to their brand? Why would they take the risk? Smoke
Everybody
when the
already
cameras
knows
are
they
off.
smoke. Everybody already knows they smoke.
Yeah, smoke when the cameras are off.
All right. The last one, which they took off now, which I wanted to ask you was, what song were they going to open with? Now, you have the choices of the next episode, Still Dre, right? But the one that I thought, and it was a long shot, was the Death Row song that's like all of the lights, and it's like all about like all the stars, It was a Death Row song. I think Mary J. Blige sang it. It's talking about all the stars being on stage. That's my long shot to be the first song to open with. But I still think that the show should open up with bam, 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 boom, right into the next episode. Like that sound should start. You know what I mean? Or even Still Dre. I'm having a hard time, but it's gonna be one of those three. Matt, what do you have for props that you think are solid? Go ahead. Wait, no.
I haven't even got a chance to look at the whole slate. I haven't got a chance to look at it, but to be honest with you, I would go with Joe Burrow plus. I think it's he's expected like two touchdowns. I would go over. I think that Joe Burrow's probably going to be the reason for all the touchdowns. That he's going to be, throwing it into the end zone. And I do like McPherson, but I think they're going to try and go for it more times than not. They'll kick it when they have to and be conservative, but I think that, they're going to trust in Burrow, and Burrow will get the job done. He'll be the game MVP. So probably 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow is a prop bet. I do like T. Higgins as a first touchdown, like Brother Ray said, because I think that it's going to be like also what Brother Ray said, is going to be a big day for the number 2 receiver. I think Cooper Kupp gets covered, but he still does what he does, and Beckham has a good day. But I also think that you're going to see Boyd and T. Higgins have good days too. Like Joe Burrow spreads the ball around. He's going to give it to the wide open receiver, and they probably drop back quick passes, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. Let the receiver or the playmaker make the play like he always does. And, I think that that's going to bode well for the Bengals. I don't think that there's any, it's funny that you opened the show and you said the points and the points allowed and how clear cut, like these two teams are like even Steven right down the line. But when it comes down to it, also like what you said, King, is when it comes down to it, who are you going to take as a quarterback? I think when it comes back to more dropbacks, even with the Bengals offensive line and where it's at, you're going to have be on the right side with Smoking Joe more often than not than you would with Matt Stafford. And I don't think this is the Rams' year. It sucks to say that because you ask yourself, can you see McVay be 0-2 in Super Bowls? I think that's going to be the case. And I think that we have a winner with Cincinnati.
Ray, who do you like as the MVP?
Oh, boy. Again, my long shot, someone I think is going to have a big day today is Jesse Bates. I really think, like, that's another one that you may want to throw, like, $5 on. And
he's not even listed, dude. He doesn't even come up in the play to record first reception in game. It goes Kupp, Chase, Beckham, Higgins, Mixon, Boyd. What's it? It was Uzama? I think I would say it wrong.
Yeah, Bates he's a safety. What I'm saying is Bates is a safety. I think he could get the pick 6 to seal the game today and could have a big game. So as far as the defensive MVP, you put $5 on that. Maybe he's in the any other player. It's got to be plus 1,800 at least.
What's his last name again?
Jesse Bates, the third.
I don't think the dude's even in the list MVP.
No, he's probably other player. He's probably be under the other player to win the MVP. If I had to go, though, Cincy, it's got to be Joe. It's got to be Jackpot Joey. How can it not be Jackpot Joey? If it's your normal Super Bowl MVP, it's usually a quarterback. Jackpot Joey.
There's only 2 people that could steal it from Joe Burrow. One would be if Mixon gets hot on the ground and changes the complexity of the game, right? And 2 is if Jamar Chase ends up catching 2 or 3 of the touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, then now you're like, maybe it's the receiver for that one. So, but other than that, I would take Joe Burrow. I think that's solid.
If Jamar goes for 200 yards, he could be the MVP.
Joe goes for 400 yards. three touchdowns. 2 to Jamar Chase, who had 200 yards. So Joe ends up with 3 touchdowns, 400 yards. Chase has got 2 touchdowns, 200 yards.
Jamal.
I give the Chase, right?
Wide receivers do win it. We've seen it several times. Wide receivers do win it. Deion Branch. I mean, we can go down the list.
This is true. No, I'm in 100% agreement. All right. Anything you want to say before we wrap this up? Get everybody ready for the Super Bowl. The fact that we've made it through the second season of fantasy football, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, you're gonna make me put together all my cards now, just so I can. You know what? Right. You talk about last words. I got to show Matt something. But good. Your final words to wrap up today's show and for the Super Bowl.
I talked about at the beginning of the show, West Coast and how the West Coast has taken over the league. Zach Taylor was on Sean McVay's staff with the Rams. So Zach Taylor knows exactly what that offense is about and how to beat that offense. And what Zach Taylor's running in Cincy is basically a condensed version of the Rams offense. He doesn't have the offensive line, to kind of execute what Sean McVay has done over several years. But I think Zach Taylor has the key now, and they know what to do against Sean McVay. The West Coast offense is here to stay. You look at Miami, McDaniel, West Coast, under Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. It all comes from Bill Walsh. And you're looking at all these teams now. That is the best teams, Green Bay. Go down the list. All West Coast. So I don't know. I think today we're going to see the culmination of that with the 2 top teams in the Super Bowl. And as far as it's getting to our second year, that's a testament to you. That's a testament to Matt, Genius, everyone that's taken part. I'd like to thank everybody.
Yeah, it's really hard to do, and we keep trucking. Matt, any last words before I get that? I want to show you really quick. So I got one of those Walgreens packages. I got DeAndre Swift with the piece of the jersey with it. Right now, whatever. I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I keep hoping is going to do something. But then the one sneaky one, and Brother Ray, maybe you'll appreciate this the most. Anthony Edwards, basketball rookie.
Nice.
That came in the thing, and I was like, son of a gun. This is the guy that I drafted in my fantasy basketball league, the guy that my son was telling me, he's going to end up being one of the greatest. And so far, so good with Anthony Edwards. But to just have that come up in the thing, I was like, hey, lucky me. Matt, last words.
Go Joe Burrow, go Cincinnati Bengals. Go if you're putting money in it, best of luck. I don't have to be on the winning side to make it a happy day. I wish you all well and wish you the best. Go get it. Put in your prop bets. Let me know what you do, and I wish you well.
All right, so I'm going to wrap it up like this because I got about a minute left. I'm looking forward to wrapping up the season. We're going to be moving the show to just Sunday. Sundays at 11. That we'll be down to 1 show a week on the football. But we will keep up football throughout the whole entire off season. We'll see you guys once a week to tell you about free agency, training camps, what we're hearing, get you ready for the fantasy football season. And Brother Ray, isn't the USFL supposed to take place this year? When does that start?
Yeah, it's coming back. The pandemic.
XFL is 2023, but USFL is supposed to be this year. Does anybody know the starting date of the USFL this year? I don't. All right. Well, I'm going to say when it does start, I will cover it.
60 days. Starting in 60 days. April 16th, 2022.
All right, Brother Ray. So we got a bunch of football teams we're going to have to learn, and we'll roll with that. I'll talk to you about that later, but that could be a lot of fun because we did that really well with the XFL. Guys, I'd like to thank you for the season. I look forward to the next few seasons. And I really believe that we're telling people, go with the Bengals. I would go money line. They're going to win the game. And take Joe as your MVP. That, to me, is your solid. On the coin toss, you always take heads.
Heads.
Don't take tails. When you take tails, it's accepting defeat in my book. No one takes tails. It's a psychological thing. I remember Brian Dawkins talking about it. Like, who takes tails? That's what his exact words were. Brother Ray, would you agree? It's heads? Or are you tails guy?
Yeah, I would agree it was heads, although I think Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, well, no, I think Cincinnati took tails in the AFC Championship game.
Heads. So we have on tonight a paranormal show with oh boy, I should probably be better at knowing who's on the show. It will be, hold on 1 second. Oh, I know who it is. It's a couple, all right? It's Dave and Carla. And what I read about them was apparently they met each other and then realized they've known each other in like 29 past lives. So I'm going to talk to a guy who's known his wife for 29 past lives. And this guy's going to be happy? Right? If it was me, I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. What's the matter with you? I've known him for 29 lives.
Can't escape.
Lives.
Can't escape. There's no escape.
It's the Dice Clay line. You take her out, you give her your bed by this, you go get popcorn, you see a movie, you get a dinner, you take her home, you lay down, you roll over, and she's still there. Hey, guys, enjoy the Super Bowl. Well, let's go Joe Burrow, because you know what? It really comes down to this. Having Chase there helped with his confidence. And when that kid gets confident, forget about it. Whereas Stafford, I don't trust him. Now, the most interesting take on this whole game would be, what if Joe actually got too confident and throws a couple wrong and then gets in the hole? And then we got to see what happens, because then it's going to be fun. So you know what? I think it's going to be a great game. That's all I got. Thanks, guys. So 4, Mastradamus, Mr. Never Left, M1, Matt, 4, Brother Ray making his return to Super Bowl Sunday. It's me. It's Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This was Legit Fantasy Football from legitpodcast.com. Go get your bets in. We are done.